October 1st, Plat Committee meeting. Meredith, roll call.
Okay. Jason Carnahan,
Here.
Sandy Harrison,
Here.
Suzanne Davis.
Here.
Jerry Yoder, Alicia Rogers, Chris Gallmer.
Here.
Meredith Wright, here.
Anyone in attendance would like to say a prayer?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and the opportunity to come together as a group to make some hopefully wise decisions for the county. So look after us as we do that. And in Jesus' name, amen.
In your packet, you received a copy of the September 3rd minutes. I'll take a motion for approval if there's no changes or corrections.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Jason, seconded by Suzanne. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. No old business. We'll move on to the new business. First petition is 24-36. Cynthia M. and William J. Walter requesting a 4-lot subdivision known as Home Place. The proposed 4-lot subdivision will be a total of 91.612 acres. The subdivision will be used for single-family residences. The property is located on the east side of County Road 35, approximately 1/4 mile south of the intersection of County Road 35 and County Road 68, Auburn, Indiana, and is zoned A2 agricultural.
Alrighty, if you want to take a look at your aerial map and packet from this case, parcel 005, which is the entire parcel that encompasses this property or this subdivision, is considered the parent parcel. This is the first, second, third, and fourth buildable split from parcel 005. So no additional buildable splits can be created. The petitioner is meeting the standards of the UDO as follows. The minimum lot width required is 2 net acres. That does not include any dedicated right-of-way or recorded easements. Proposed lot 1 area is 28.767 net acres. Proposed lot 2 is 4.827 net acres. Proposed lot 3 is 23.944 net acres. And proposed lot 4 is 21.474 net acres. Minimum lot width required is 160 feet. Proposed lot 1 width is 609.93 feet. Lot 2 is 314 feet. Lot 3 is 472.73 feet. And lot 4 is 459.98 feet. And the lot frontage required is 120 feet. Proposed lot 1 is 296 feet. Lot 2 is 316 feet. Lot 3 is 432.78 feet. And lot 4 is 460 feet. And then finally, the property fronts County Road 35, which is considered a county minor arterial with a projected total right-of-way width of 100 feet. And the proposed right-of-way dedication for this subdivision, as shown, is 50 feet. Be happy to take questions if you have any. Bill is here to answer any questions. Both of them.
Are there any questions about 24-36? Anyone in the public with any questions? Okay, we can close the public meeting portion. And Chris, can we move on to the finding of facts?
We can. All right, this is for petition 24-36, located on the east side of County Road 35, approximately 1/4 mile south of the intersection of County Road 35 and County Road 68 in Auburn. Proposed name of subdivision is Home Place. The jurisdictional finding, the petitioners complied with the rules and regulations of the Plan Commission in filing the appropriate forms and reports. The application is completed and filed on August 2nd, 2024. The legal notice was published in the Star on September 20th, 2024, and the affidavits received. The certificate of mailing notices were sent and the receipts were given to staff. We have letters from the County Board of Health dated September 10th, 2024, from the Highway Department dated August 13th, 2024, report from the DeKalb County Soil Water Conservation District dated August 19th, 2024, and letter from the Drainage Board dated August 29th, 2024. Airport Board report is not applicable. Plats prepared by Avonmarsh Consultants Incorporated, and the real estate to be developed is in zoning district A2, which permits the requested development. Proposed findings of fact. Does the proposed minor subdivision adequately conform to the comprehensive plan? Yes, the subdivision will be used for residential uses, which is compatible to the existing and adjacent land uses. Does the minor subdivision conform to the following UDO standards? The minimum width, depth, and area of lots? Yes, see the plat and the staff report. B, public way widths, grades, curves, and the coordination of public ways with current and planned public ways, if applicable, are required. There's adequate access off of County Road 35 with the dedication of right-of-way. The driveway locations have been reviewed and approved by the DeKalb County Highway Department, and driveway permits must be issued before any development begins. The extension of water, sewer, and other municipal services, if applicable, are required. There's none required. Private septic systems will be utilized. And the allocation of areas to be used as public ways, parks, and schools, public and semi-public buildings, homes, businesses, and utilities, if applicable, are required, and there's none required. Planning staff recommendations and comments. We're recommending approval to allow the minor subdivision. It recommends the following conditions. The standard conditions to be recorded on or with the plat. Number one, this lot shall be included in any subdivision arising from any further development from the land involved, where there is no intention that any terms, conditions, or restrictions on a future plat will have any retroactive applicability to this division of land. There shall be compliance with the laws and regulations of any federal, state, or local agency. No off-site drainage, existing surface water, or existing tiled water drainage crossing over said real estate shall be obstructed by any development on the site. The Plan Commission may enforce these conditions by injunctive relief with attorney fees. The appropriate agricultural covenants, drainage covenants, and airport zone covenants shall be on the plat if required. And since Jerry's not here, I will find that quickly and read it to you. There it is. The owners of the lots within this subdivision agree to recognize the existing agricultural land usage surrounding this subdivision and further agree to not object to the surrounding agricultural land use or changes therein as permitted by law, Indiana Code 34-1-52-4. And conditions that will not be recorded but must be met: comply with the staff report, comply with any applicable environmental standards as required in Article 5, 5.11 in the Unified Development Ordinance, comply with the flood hazard area for DeKalb County Ordinance and any wetland laws and regulations if required. And the plat shall not be recorded until the applicant files written evidence of compliance with any conditions of the DeKalb County Board of Health, the DeKalb County Highway Department, the DeKalb County Drainage Board, DeKalb County Surveyor, DeKalb County Airport, or DeKalb County Soil Water Conservation District, or other agency as applicable. File written evidence of compliance with federal or state agencies where identified in the findings or conditions, and the zoning administrator to determine when the conditions have been met.
Thank you, Chris. Is there any more discussion on petition 24-36? I'll now take a motion for approval or denial on this petition.
I move to approve petition 24-36.
Heard a motion for approval from Suzanne, second by Jason. Meredith, can we have a vote?
Jason Carnahan,
Yes.
Suzanne Davis,
Yes.
Sandy Harrison.
Yes. Thank you. The second petition is 24-37. And that's Reuben Wickie requesting a one-lot subdivision known as Girard Subdivision. The proposed one-lot subdivision will be a total of 6.147 acres. The subdivision will be used for a single-family residence. The property is located on the south side of County Road 60, approximately 1/10 mile west of the intersection of County Road 60 and State Road 1, St. Joe, Indiana, and is zoned R2 medium-density residential.
All right, so this parcel 001 is considered the parent parcel. It extends west, more towards south of the Conservation Club. And this is the first buildable split from parent parcel 001. 3 additional buildable splits could be created. The minimum lot area required is 2 net acres or 12,000 square feet with municipal sanitary sewer. They are proposing lot 1 be 4.062 net acres. Minimum lot width required is 200 feet or 80 feet with sanitary sewer, and they have 800.63 feet. Minimum lot frontage required is 60 feet, and they have 800.63 feet. And County Road 60 is considered a county collector road, projected total right-of-way width of 80 feet. Proposed right-of-way dedication is 40 feet. They do plan to, well, they have to hook up to the Spencerville-St. Joe sewer district, so that's why you don't see soil borings on the plat for a septic system. That is in the, as a covenant on the plat, that it's in the bottom kind of center. No septic system will be permitted on this lot. The lot must hook into the St. Joe Spencerville Regional Sewer District.
Thank you, Chris. Are there any questions or concerns about petition 24-37? Is there anyone present who wishes to speak about this? Sure. Anyone have any questions for the lady? No? There's no other questions. We can close the public hearing.
Ready for the findings?
Yes.
Petition 24-37, south side of County Road 60, approximately 1/10 of a mile west of the intersection of County Road 60 and State Road 1 in St. Joe. Name of subdivision is Girard's subdivision. Jurisdictional findings, the petitioners complied with the rules and regulations of the Plan Commission, filing the appropriate forms and reports. Application completed and filed on August 28th, 2024. Legal notice published in the Star on September 20th, 2024, and affidavits received. The certificate of mailing notices were sent and the receipts were given to staff. We have letters from the County Board of Health dated September 11th, 2024. Letter from the County Highway dated September 5th, 2024. Report from the DeKalb County Soil Water Conservation District dated September 4th, 2024. Letter from the Drainage Board dated, it says C condition. Oh, because it's going this coming Thursday, correct, Renee? So Renee had prior obligations last week to go to the Drainage Board, so we'll just add, we have a condition on there, basically that they can't get the plat recorded until this receives Drainage Board approval, but it will be going this Thursday. Airport Board report is not applicable. Plats prepared by Studi Land Surveying, and the real estate to be developed is in zoning district R2, which permits the requested development. Does the proposed minor subdivision adequately conform to the comprehensive plan? Yes, the subdivision will be used for residential use, which is compatible to the existing and adjacent land uses. Does the minor subdivision conform to the following UDO standards? The minimum width, depth, and area of lots? Yes, see the plat in the staff report. Public way widths, grades, and curves, and the coordination of public ways with current and planned public ways, if applicable, are required. There's adequate access off of County Road 60 with dedication of right-of-way. The driveway locations have been reviewed and approved by the DeKalb County Highway Department. And I believe this one may have a driveway permit already. Yes, this one has driveway permit already, 2313. Extension of water, sewer, and other municipal services, if applicable, are required. The property shall be connected to the St. Joe Spencerville Regional Sewer District. That condition, as I read before, is on the plat. And the allocation of areas to be used as public ways, parks and schools, public and semi-public buildings, homes, businesses, and utilities, if applicable, are required, and there are none required. Staff is recommending approval to allow the minor subdivision and recommends the following conditions. Standard conditions to be recorded on or with the plat. This lot shall be included in any subdivision arising from any further development from the land involved. However, there is no intention that any terms, conditions, or restrictions on a future plat will have any retroactive applicability to this division of land. There shall be compliance with the laws and regulations of any federal, state, or local agency. No off-site drainage, existing surface water, or existing tiled water drainage crossing over said real estate shall be obstructed by any development on the site. Plan Commission may enforce these conditions by injunctive relief with attorney fees. And the appropriate agricultural covenants, drainage covenants, and airport zone covenant shall be on the plat if required. The ag covenant is located on there. The owners of the lots within the subdivision agree to recognize the existing agricultural land usage surrounding this subdivision, and further agree to not object to the surrounding agricultural land use or changes therein as permitted by law. Indiana Code 34-1-52-4. And then also, there's a covenant on here for the St. Joe Valley Conservation Club that reads, the owners of the lot within this subdivision acknowledges and further agrees to not object to the St. Joe Valley Conservation Club Incorporated, located northwest of this lot. Conditions that will not be recorded but must be met: comply with the staff report. Comply with any applicable environmental standards as required in Article 5, 5.11 in the Unified Development Ordinance. Comply with the flood hazard area for DeKalb County Ordinance and any wetland laws and regulations if required. The plat shall not be recorded until the applicant files written evidence of compliance with any conditions of the DeKalb County Board of Health, the DeKalb County Highway Department, the DeKalb County Drainage Board, or DeKalb County Surveyor, the DeKalb County Airport, the DeKalb County Soil and Water Conservation District, or other agency as applicable. File written evidence of compliance with federal or state agencies or identifying the findings or conditions. The zoning administrator to determine when the conditions have been met. And then number 5, prior to the plat being signed and recorded, the Drainage Board review and approve the drainage plan for this plat.
Thank you, Chris. Are there any, is there any more discussion for, excuse me, petition 24-37? Nope. Okay, I'll now take a motion for approval or denial of 24-37.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Excuse me, second.
Yeah, I heard a motion for approval from Jason, second from Suzanne. Meredith?
Jason Carnahan,
Yes.
Suzanne Davis.
Yes.
Sandy Harrison.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Meredith. Thank you, Chris. The third petition is 24-38, which is Brett A. and Joanne Rittenauer requesting a plat vacation of Rittenauer Acres, Lot 1. The purpose of the vacation is due to a lot never being developed, and the property owners wish to combine the parcel with their other properties. No new buildable lots are being created. The property is located at 1921 County Road 72, Huntertown, Indiana.
All righty, so if you can look at your aerial map, the Rittenauers live at 1883 County Road 72. I probably should have included more of what they own, but there's about, I'd say, 3 unplatted parcels there. And so they're as Sandy said, the purpose of the plat is vacation, is to vacate this lot, and then he would like to combine it with his other parcels and have just one parcel, one tax bill that he would own. So pretty basic as we've done before. There used to be, I probably shouldn't have said it was never developed, because it did have, as you can see on the existing plat, the 2-story home, an outbuilding, and a garage. Those have, as you can see on the aerial, have since been demolished. So it's not been developed since then. And yeah, like I said, he would just like to vacate this to be able to combine it with his other parcels.
Is there, excuse me, are there any other questions for Chris about this petition 24-38? If not, we'll close the public hearing and we'll move to the finding of facts.
All right, this is for petition 24-38. The name of the subdivision being vacated is written now are Acres Lot 1. Recording number of the plat to be vacated is 2080126, and these are proposed findings, which are not final until adopted by the plat committee. The petitioners complied with the rules and regulations of the planning commission, filing the appropriate forms and reports. Application completed and filed on September 3rd, 2024. Legal notice published in the Star on September 20th, 2024, and the affidavit has been given to staff. The certificate of mailing notices were sent and the receipts were given to staff. We have letters from the County Board of Health dated September 11th, 2024. Letter from the County Highway dated September 5th, 2024. Report from the DeKalb County Soil Water Conservation District dated September 4th, 2024. And a letter from the Drainage Board dated September 5th, 2024. Airport Board reports not applicable. And the proposed findings of fact: have the conditions in the platted area been changed so as to defeat the original purpose of the plat? Answer is yes. The property owner wishes to add this parcel to their existing acreage surrounding the home. To be able to do so, this plat must be vacated. Is it in the public's interest to vacate all or part of the plat? Yes, the vacation will allow for this parcel to be added/joined to their existing acreage. No new buildable lots are being created. Will the value of the land in the lot not owned by the petitioner be diminished by the vacation? No, the vacating of this lot will not negatively impact neighboring properties.
Is there any more discussion about 24-38? If not, I'll now look for a motion for approval or denial.
I move to,
Go ahead.
I move to approve 24-38.
Second.
Okay, Suzanne made a motion for approval. Jason, second.
Jason Carnahan?
Yes.
Suzanne Davis?
Yes.
Sandy Harrison?
Yes. Thank you. Our fourth,
I'll just have a vacation document for you guys to sign. I didn't bring it with me today. You're going to be around today? That's fine. That's fine. I'll have it ready. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Tomorrow, if you can't come when's Charity going to be gone? Between like 10:30 and noon. So if you can come either first thing in the morning or in the afternoon, that'd be perfect. Because Charity, sorry? 4 o'clock. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thanks. Yep, thanks. Bye, guys.
and the fourth petition is 24-39. Daniel, Ryan, and Elizabeth Ashland Knoll requesting a one-lot subdivision known as This Is the Way. The proposed one-lot subdivision will be a total of 10.319 acres. The subdivision will be used for a single-family residence. The property is located at 6505 County Road 11A, Garrett, Indiana, and is zoned A2 agricultural.
Alrighty. So parcel 009 is considered the parent parcel, and will be considered the first buildable split from parent parcel 009. 3 additional splits could be created. The petitioner is meeting the standards of the UDO as follows. The minimum lot area required is 2 net acres. That does not include any dedicated right-of-way or recorded easements. Proposed lot 1 area is 10.240 net acres. The minimum lot width required is 160 feet. They have proposed 851.10 feet. Minimum lot frontage required is 120 feet or 40 feet if the lots are designed to conserve land use for agricultural crop production, and the proposed lot 1 frontage is 40 feet. The division of land fronts County Road 11A, which is considered a county minor arterial road with projected total right-of-way width 100 feet. The proposed right-of-way dedication, as shown on the plat, is 50 feet.
Thank you, Chris. Are there any questions about 24-39?
Hey, Bruce, can you make sure the light is on that mic? Is it blue? Now it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
You could hear me anyway.
Well, but to pick up the microphone on the
Got it.
thing. Yep. Thank you.
A couple of things, and I'll start with the petition itself and move on to a few other things. So this is my wife, Lori. My wife, Lori, and I own the property adjacent to the north of the Knoll property.
And I don't know if do we wait till after you've done all of your things?
Nope. Go ahead.
Okay.
Because afterward, the public hearing will be over.
Right, yeah, public hearing is over.
Yep.
And after the findings, before the findings of fact. So,
Yep.
First of all, the application is for a subdivision, and in reviewing the packet, it doesn't appear that there's any division of land taking place here other than the division of the parent property from the setbacks that are required for subdivision. There's no second lot.
Right. So do we want to go through these and I'll try to answer them in order?
However you want to
That'd
do it.
probably be
It's fine
easier, so I'm
with me,
not,
but-
okay.
But, you know, one of the other things I wanted to add to this,
Yep.
that it seems to me that a more appropriate action to vet this property for residential development would be to rezone it as rural estates. I believe it meets all the zoning requirements for rural estate. So anyway.
So
that's my
Indiana
concern with the
code,
application
yeah, so
itself.
Indiana code requires that any division of land from the parent parcel, and in this case, the parent parcel was 009, which is the farm ground, and this woods at one point in time. When the woods was split out, it created an unbuildable parcel.
Correct.
So Indiana code requires that any division of land from the parent parcel has to go through a subdivision or platting process, even if it's a one-lot subdivision. So that's the answer. I don't like it, but we can thank our state legislators for creating a law that is really confusing for people and is a little backwards in how you would think. In our A2 zoning district, it allows for single-family homes to be built. So doing a rezone to RE is not required. Sorry?
I own one.
Yes, you own one, yeah. So in our A2 zoning district, we allow single-family homes, so there's no point to rezone it to a rural estate when it allows single-family homes already as a permitted use.
Okay, and I figured that was probably the case because in the drawing, the setbacks were there, and it appears that the net plat is going to be the parent parcel less those setbacks, which would allow it to be divided again in the future, and I see that's listed.
So this could probably not be divided in the future because they only have 40 feet of road frontage.
Okay.
Theoretically, they would have to gain road frontage from the rest of that 009 parcel to be able to split this again. So this could probably never be split again for another buildable lot. That answer was the 4 remaining is for the 009, the 3 remaining is for the 009 parcel. The rest of the ag land, the crop production land to the south.
And additionally, in October of '22, when this was proposed, that we were here before, it was proposed that this lot would only ever be a single-family, one house, possibly a pole barn development.
And this can only allow for one single family home on this this is the way subdivision for this one lot that the Plat Committee can only hear on today. We can't hear about what's proposed in the future, what they might do with the rest of the 009. It's just for this one lot.
Right, and curiously, I mean, I keep hearing you mention the crop production ground that's owned by Associated Farms. How does that get wrapped up in this petition? Because, that was my concern from October of 2022, because in the minutes of the October 2022 BZA meeting, I believe you noted that there would have to be another meeting to subdivide that property. And just as a matter of history, I had an interest in the property and I was watching it. And in December of 2021, I saw that it had been sold, or December of 2022, after the BZA meeting, that the property had been sold to the Knowles. And I called your office and I said, well, I'm a little curious because I thought Associated Farms got a developmental standards variance of, to reduce the frontage from 120 to 40 feet in order to subdivide that property prior to the sale, but I didn't get a letter on that. I was told that there was no application for subdivision, and that it's not uncommon for land to be surveyed and sold without a subdivision. It's just not considered buildable if that's the case.
Correct.
And so I won't speculate on why that happened. I probably could, but that's just the place. So anyway, I understand what you're saying, that this is required, and I figured that was going to be the case with that, but I wanted to question that because I didn't see a second lot platted on the subdivision. My second concern, and this is probably going to be the elephant in the room that nobody wants to address and nobody wants to see believe is there. So I have pictures of it. And in B, on your proposed findings of fact and the highway permit, the numbers don't run with the driveway permit. And the other thing is the first 30 feet of that 40 feet is a utility easement owned by Frontier Communications. I understand that there's not a recorded easement there, but that utility easement is there nonetheless. So I've taken some pictures of this to share so everybody has a perspective of what the first 30 feet of the 40 feet that are proposed here are. And that's this telephone, equipment that's sitting there on a 30 by 30 lot. And I'm intimately familiar with that utility easement because I worked for GTE when they put it in 1989. Their first choice was to put it on the north side of my drive, but they viewed that to be a conflict. I worked for them, so they sold the easement to Homer Shank, who owned the agricultural property to the south. So those are a picture, and that sits on a 30 by 30 pad. That's 30 feet from the north boundary stake of the Knoll easement to the south. There is an existing culvert already in front of that. It's a 20-foot culvert that goes from about 6.7 feet from the north boundary, 20 feet to the south. And I've got some photos of that as well. And I've got a second set of photos that shows the north and south boundary stakes of the Knoll easement, which actually seem to be sitting at about 45.8 feet. The proposed center line of the driveway and the driveway permit that was issued is 20 feet from the north boundary stake of the Knoll easement. This next set of pictures shows 20 feet, which you'll see as you look at the pictures, lines up squarely with the meter riser on Frontier's Pear Gate site. That's right in the middle of the proposed driveway.
So I will say, we don't approve driveways. The county highway department does. So
I understand that,
I would,
but-
I would encourage your concerns to go to the county highway department if they're concerned about the driveway location. Because the plat committee can't do anything in moving the driveway. That's all approved by the highway department. The reason we require the driveway permits to be located on the plat nowadays is because people were buying parcels and the highway department wasn't allowing driveways to be put in because of site distance and that sort of thing. So when Daniel got his driveway permit, that isn't up to us to determine where that's located. It's all done through the highway department.
I understand that, but I did they even go out and look at it? Because if they'd gone out
Again,
and
that's
looked
a
at it,
concern.
imagine if they would see the same thing. that
But
I
again,
see.
that's a concern for the highway department. I don't want to speculate.
When I was
What they
here,
did.
I think it was this committee in October of '22, the decision at that meeting, which was published, was that in the event that the paperwork could be found for that Verizon Frontier GTE plot, that in the event that that 30 by 30 square was found, which it was, and presented, that then the agreement would be that there would have to be an additional feet of 30 feet beyond that first 30 feet. And that was what was proposed, that was what was agreed. So we're not seeing that extra 30 feet to make it 30 feet beyond the original 30 feet that GTE owns. Because
Well,
the way
and
it's proposed.
and Daniel's here, maybe he can speak to what he plans to do with that. But, there is already an existing culvert there that would have to be torn out to facilitate a 30-foot culvert, for, to be placed for the driveway. So, and like I said, if that driveway was permitted like that, I can't speak to what the county highway department did. I don't know why they would have. It would seem to me like they would require that to be moved south to go around this utility site. So,
And again, that's a question for the highway department that we don't have any say over.
But can they legally drive up and over this other property?
Yeah.
I mean, because they don't. I mean, the GTE doesn't. They park, which as the one shows where they're currently driving up and over where when they buried all their fiber optics and stuff, they're driving constantly over this. And our concern is that we're going to lose our fiber optic and all of our stuff that is in that box, telephone, et cetera, if they start digging down, because they're going to dig into their stuff.
and I'll get into that. And this just for your knowledge too. There's a 30 by 30 ground grid around that easement that can't be disturbed as part of the construction of the utility itself there. And like I said, there's no mention of that telephone easement anywhere on the platting of this. I would have thought that maybe Frontier would have received an invitation to this meeting so they could speak their piece. Maybe they did. So, but like I said, that first 30 feet is a square that houses a bunch of telephone equipment. And that only leaves 10 feet in this plat at the end of the driveway for a driveway, which isn't enough. So I just wanted to bring that to the Plat Committee's attention because in my view, that should be cared for in the plan before this plat is approved. Because there doesn't appear to be a provision to move that driveway to the south 30 feet or whatever it takes to be able to get the 40-foot driveway. So the last two pictures are just simply a photo of where the 30-foot line is. You can't see it real well, but it's right below the rise. My next concern with the petition is it appears that the drainage plan appears to identify a lateral of the Ambrose Heights drain on the north end of the property. A couple of different things. There's both of those tiles on that lateral Heights drain, which actually sit on our cropland to the north of the woods, are encroaching into the wetland that's marked on the wetland map there. I'm not sure what the setbacks are from the wetlands or whether or not you would even be able to tie into that tile that close to the wetland. But also that Ambrose Heights drain is in need of serious remediation. The Drainage Board is aware of that. Collectively, between my cropland, my son's driveway, which is to the north of me, and Roger Johnson's, which is to the north of that, when we get heavy rains, we have anywhere from 2 to 5 acres stand underwater for several days before that water gets away. And I'm not sure tying into that tile is a wise plan, because I think you could see backup into a drainage field from that tile. And you're probably going to tell me that's the drainage board problem. They approved this application for subdivision. There are 3 watersheds. If you overlay the watershed map on that property, one of them goes to the west of the George River drain. About the last 100 feet of the north end of the Knoll property goes to the Heights drain. And, it appears where the development piece of that is in the Cedar Creek watershed, and there's no regulated drain there. So I think, I wanted to bring the issues of the drainage to our attention, because the purpose of this meeting is to vet this property to be a buildable property. And I think the last thing the Plat Committee wants to do is approve this application for subdivision and then have Daniel not to be able to build on the property because he gets into drainage issues, because the drainage or the septic permit is contingent on adequate drainage. It's stated, in the petition itself. So this last photo here is a wetland overlay, just so you can see the location of the wetland with respect to tile, and it's very close if you look at it. Actually, I think if you look at those 2 tiles, the lateral height drain actually go into that wetland. They're not working, obviously, or it wouldn't be on the wetland map. So, and that actually, both those are on the edge of the property. Actually, the wetland is wholly on the Shoals property to the east. So, my last concern, and this is probably my biggest concern, is there is a natural waterway that flows through the Knoll property, through my property, and then out to the cropland to the west of the woods where our property is. And I've taken some pictures of that. Now, you wouldn't see that today because it's been really dry, but in wet conditions, water flows through there and out into the field. And where the proposed driveway is along the west side of the woods, it goes along there, a driveway will actually dam that up and prevent that water from running off my property. And I've kind of created a picture, and I've kind of traced the route. This is a panoramic picture. I've kind of traced the route of that waterway, and then I've got some other pictures that actually show it. And, these were actually taken when there were wet conditions there. And it kind of shows how the water flows through the woods along that path that I've marked on that.
And even this spring, there's always water up there, to a point where when they try to farm over it, they get stuck, or they've been lately farming around it, and it's a huge, big circle, to where in the spring, usually in the summer or the fall, there are tons of geese, ducks, and everything. So it's a significant amount of water that is out there all the time, and it's because that usually flows all the time.
It flows actually through the woods, off the Knoll property in the back, all the way through the west side of our property, and then out into the fields, and that would be dammed up by a driveway going across there.
Typical. There's usually more.
And I don't know what the solution to that would be. It seems like the solution would be to bring the easement for the driveway in south of that whole west. That's not my site. That's a concern of mine right there. And you say in your planning staff and recommendations and comment that no off-site draining, existing surface water or existing tiled water drainage crossing over said real estate, which includes the easement for his driveway, shall be obstructed by the development. So in my view, that has not been cared for in this application or the plat plan. And I need to make sure that that is cared for before this is approved. Otherwise, that water's all going to be damaged on my property. And that's all I.
Thank you.
She said, we're going to be here, ping-ponging this back and forth, so.
I'm not going to come back up. I'm not going to come back up.
I know, I'm just.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I don't have much of a response. Obviously, I think probably my first course of action is to get with the highway department and see what they suggest for the driveway to make sure we don't have any utility issues. And if there's a potential damming of water, we can explore that as well, because the last thing I want to do is flood the Getz property. So Yep, only comments.
And that's why we have that condition is if a neighbor would come and say, you know, the development of this site is not allowing the free flow of water as it did, obviously there would have to be the plan commission would take a look at this and say, well, really, it's going to go to probably the plan commission and the drainage board to figure out how the water is flowing, who's going to go out there and make sure that the impediment of development on whatever site is impeding the flow of water on whichever site. So that's why we have that condition on there.
Chris, if I can make one more comment, I just wanted to make sure that was on the record of this meeting. For that reason, I just want to make sure that somehow or another, you know, if Daniel builds back there and he puts his driveway in, that we care for that water.
Yep.
Thank you.
And then the last thing I'll say is that's why this goes to those various departments, to make sure that a driveway is getting approved, a septic system, it's not in our ordinance to require a driveway permit or require the septic locations or that we have drainage board approval or that we have soil water approval. We just do it because it's been part of the process to make sure that those various departments have the correct approvals in place so that when whomever would want to build on any piece of property in DeKalb County, they're not running into issues saying, well, the plan commission allowed us to go through this process, but I can't get a driveway permit, or I can't get a septic system, or I can't get I can't get drainage board approval. So although those are not public hearings, they are public meetings, and although it's difficult to find them, they are on the public website for when these things do go through the various processes. So,
Does anyone on the committee have any questions or concerns?
Well, it does sound like there may be some issues that need to be addressed by the highway department and the drainage board. So what would the process be if we didn't approve this?
well, I mean, so you can't deny it based off of those two things because we've gotten approval from the drainage board.
Okay.
And he's gotten a driveway permit from the highway department.
Okay.
I can, with almost 100% certainty, because I've been working with Ben Parker and Mark Goodrich for 8 years now, that they go out and inspect every driveway. They want it staked in the middle of where it's going to be located, and then they go out, review, approve, and then Daniel has to then come in and get or whoever has to come in and get a driveway permit. You can't deny it based off of those. You can add a condition that the driveway permit be confirmed, the driveway permit or the driveway location be confirmed with the highway department, and that, I think because this went through the drainage board and got approved, that's out of our wheelhouse and any range of expertise with the Plat committee. But that condition that we just discussed is on the plat. It's a covenant that gets put on the plat, the one that Mr. Getz
The drainage
said.
covenants on the plat.
Right.
So that would need to get resolved.
If
that were to block
correct.
the drainage.
Right.
And that would be a requirement. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
This time we'll close the public hearing and move on to the findings of fact.
Suzanne, are you wanting to add any conditions that
Oh, yeah.
were discussed there or proposed to add any condition? I mean, the only condition that I would probably suggest adding would be confirmation with the highway department that the driveway permit is correct. Again, it's been permitted. It's out of my expertise on what they do. But that's up to you all if you want to require that confirmation, and then I can put that in the packet for this project when we finalize the document.
So what would you do? Send it back to the highway department?
I would just email Ben and Mark with the
Okay.
driveway permit and say seemed to be concerns on the
Questions?
location, it needs to go get, is it still staked, Daniel? But the center of the driveway is not, so they would just need to go out and confirm that location with Daniel with the highway. But again, I mean,
How would we do this? I would move to add a condition that the driveway location be reviewed and approved by the highway department.
I would say reviewed and confirmed that the driveway permit, which is permit number. See what Ben put on there. Yeah. Is that it? 2292? Thank you. That permit number be reviewed and confirmed versus approved, because,
Okay. Reviewed and confirmed.
so you want to state that again? Or do you just want to read it when we get to the conditions? Is
Okay.
that all right?
Yep.
Okay.
Now we'll close the public hearing and move on to the finding of facts.
All right, this is for 24-39, 6505 County Road 11A in Garrett. Name of subdivision is This Is the Way. Jurisdictional findings, petitioners comply with the rules and regulations of the Plan Commission in filing the appropriate forms and report. Applications completed and filed on September 4th, 2024. Legal notice published in the Star on September 20th, 2024, and affidavits received. Certificate of mailing notices were sent and the receipts given to staff. Letter from the County Board of Health dated September 11th, 2024. Letter from the County Highway dated September 9th, 2024. Report from the DeKalb County Soil Water Conservation District dated September 4th, 2024. And a letter from the Drainage Board dated September 23rd, 2024. Airport Board report is not applicable. Plats prepared by Sauer Land Surveying and the real estate to be developed is in zoning district A2, which permits the requested development. Proposed findings of fact, does the proposed minor subdivision adequately conform to the comprehensive plan? Yes, the subdivision will be used for residential uses, which is compatible to the existing and adjacent land uses. Does the minor subdivision conform to the following UDO standards? The minimum width, depth, and area of lot? Yes, see the plat in the staff report. Public way widths, grades, and curves, and the coordination of public ways with current and planned public ways, applicable or required. There's access off of County Road 11A with the dedication of right-of-way. The driveway location has been reviewed and approved by the DeKalb County Highway Department, and the driveway permit has been issued. The extension of water, sewer, and other municipal services, if applicable, are required. It's not applicable. Private septic system will be utilized. And the allocation of areas to be used as public ways, parks and schools, public and semi-public buildings, homes, businesses, and utilities, if applicable, are required. There's none required. Staff is recommending approval to allow the minor subdivision and recommends the following conditions. The standard conditions should be recorded on or with the plat. This lot shall be included in any subdivision arising from any further development from the land involved. However, there is no intention that any terms, conditions, or restrictions on a future plat will have any retroactive applicability to this division of land. There shall be compliance with the laws and regulations in any federal, state, or local agency. No off-site drainage, existing surface water, or existing tiled water drainage crossing over said real estate shall be obstructed by any development on the site. Plan Commission may enforce these conditions by injunctive relief with attorney fees. The appropriate agricultural covenants, drainage covenants, and airport zone covenants shall be on the plat if required. And got him, found it. The owners of the lots within the subdivision agree to recognize existing agricultural land usage surrounding this subdivision and further agrees to not object to the agricultural land use or changes therein as permitted by law, i.e. 34-1-52-4. And there are the drainage covenants on there for the Ambrose Heights lateral 5, spur 2, branch 1. And conditions that will not be recorded but must be met, comply with the staff report. Comply with any applicable environmental standards as required in Article 5, 5.11 in the Unified Development Ordinance. Comply with the flood hazard area for DeKalb County Ordinance or any wetland laws and regulations if required. And the plat shall not be recorded until the applicant files written evidence of compliance with any conditions from the DeKalb County Board of Health, the DeKalb County Highway Department, the DeKalb County Drainage Board, DeKalb County Surveyor, the DeKalb County Airport, DeKalb County Soil and Water Conservation District, or other agency as applicable. File written evidence of compliance with federal or state agencies where identifying the findings or conditions. The zoning administrator to determine when the condition has been met. Number 5 condition, Suzanne?
Driveway permit number 2292 to be reviewed and confirmed by DeKalb County Highway Department.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chris, is there any more discussion about 24-39? I'll take a motion for approval or denial on 24-39.
I move to approve.
Will second.
Motion for approval from Jason, second by Suzanne.
Jason Carnahan,
Yes.
Suzanne Davis,
Yes.
Sandy Harrison.
Yes. Is there any new business, Chris? That's it. Okay, our next meeting will be November 5th at 8:30. And that's adjournment.